Okay. So, hello everyone. Welcome to today's podcast. I'm CA Mahima Dhing and I'm super excited to have Shivangi Dokania with us, who has just cleared her interview at Boston Consultancy Group, BCG. So, let's hear about her journey. Okay. Hey, hi Shivangi. How are you?
Hi,
How does it
Mahima.
feel to join BCG, a dream company of all CA aspirants?
Yeah, so the feeling is obviously very surreal and it hasn't yet sunk in because the joining is still tentative. So, more about it when I actually join the company.
True, true, true. I can understand. Okay, then before we dive more into your BCG journey, let me first highlight about you. So Shivangi had an All India rank to 24 in CA Intermediate and AIR 20 in CA Finals. Okay, so let's know a bit more about yourself and your articleship and industrial journey. Yeah.
So, yeah. So, I'm actually from Kolkata. I've been brought up in Kolkata. I did everything, my schooling, articleship, industrial, everything from here only. Ship, I did it from Ernst and Young, statutory, any other big four company. We dealt with the listed, unlisted clients, long working hours, all of that. So yeah, so once I got to with it, then I was like, no, I have to shift to industrial as well. So then I joined ITC in the financial planning and analysis department and did my 1.5 years of industrial training from there. So that was altogether a very different experience, something which I liked more than the audit work. And that actually helped me understand that audit is never my calling. So yeah, that's about it.
No, 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 great. So after having your articleship in EY and stat audit and then moving to industrial training into FP&A, I mean, how did you decide about which domain to go with post qualification?
Yeah. So when I did audit, I actually was not that much enjoying it. So by the end of my tenure at Ernst and Young, I had actually realized that I'm not for audit. So industrial, I still enjoyed the work a lot, but then I was uh, like after the results, I was still hoping to explore a new domain. So now I was not that sure also that I want to do consulting only, but then again, consulting, IBP, these are all very fancy terms, appeals to every new CA. So yeah, so I was also keen to actually explore them. And then I was also keen to actually take up a management trainee program if offered at a nice company. But yeah,
Mhm.
that's it.
No, no, no. Great, great, great. And post qualifications, while it was a time to apply for, jobs into many companies and everything, uh, did you apply at other companies also apart from BCG?
Yeah. So, like after results, so till 1 month, I was a little bit lagged. I mean, I was a little bit relaxed. I didn't apply much because I had applied in the campus. So in campus, I had applied for, I actually gave interview for two companies, Misho and Accenture. And off campus, I had applied for Marico, Godrej, um, then Airtel, so, and then of course BCG. So, but once BCG was done, then I stopped applying anywhere else. I actually had a shortlist from DC Advisory as well, but then all the energy had been sucked out of me. So I was like, I can't give any more interviews of.
Correct, correct, correct. And how was your campus interview experience? I mean, the whole process from starting to applying to campus and then ending it with the interview or offer letter.
Huh. So, campus also, I was fortunate that the entire process, I actually lived with the people I met in my MDP program. So it was never something that I had to figure out alone at every point of time. So yeah, so I had applied in the campus, so and I'd gotten shortlist from around 7 to 8 companies, of which Premier D companies I had three shortlists. So I had from Misho, I had from Accenture, and I had from Goldman Sachs. And obviously, we know that in campus, the timings clashed, and all of that is there. So and then I went to Bangalore. Very, very, I mean, funny, but yeah, I got late on my campus and I was getting constant calls from Misho that your interview was scheduled at 9 a.m. Where are you? Where are you? And then, I mean, it was the first interview that I was supposed to give it, and I was extremely nervous. On top of that, being late just made me more nervous. So I remember I just went in the campus and I just gotten in, and within 1 or 2 minutes I had to sit for my Misho interview. So I was so nervous in that interview. I felt I had messed it up big time. But I did get a offer from them after that. And then so Misho was only one round. We only had one round of interview, and we gave the interview, and I got the acceptance after 2 to 3 hours. Yeah, after 2 to 3 hours, and then they gave us a buffer time of 30 to 40 minutes to select or not.
Okay.
And Accenture, we had 2 rounds. So one was more or less based a lot on my CV and what work I had done in ITC. So I had done a few automation projects at ITC that actually impressed them a lot. So then I had the second round, which was within a time span of say 30 minutes only. So my first round got over, and within 30 minutes I had to sit for the second round. And after the second round, within 10 to 15 minutes in itself, they told that you have been selected. So now, yeah, so now in campus, we know that we can only select one company.
Correct.
So then I had to make a decision which company I'm more inclined to. So yeah, so Misho's role was something, I mean, in the campus, they had said that they would be giving business finance roles, but then on the campus, they said that they don't have vacancy for it. So they had actually shifted to different other kinds of roles. So that's why I rejected Misho and I'd accepted Accenture. Yeah. So yeah, that was about my campus. I mean, flying to Bangalore felt worth it after getting two offers there.
Fair enough. True, true. Correct.
Yeah.
And how long was your journey from the result date to getting the actual offer letter, the one you wished for in your hand?
Yeah. So the results came around 6th July and the offer letter came around 7th or 8th of September. So July, August, September,
Correct, correct.
two
A good
months.
span of time. Right, right, right. Did you
Yeah.
have all those thoughts of, कब होगा, कैसे होगा, तब पेशेंस रखना पड़ रहा है,
Yeah.
कब इंटरव्यू शेड्यूल होगा?
Extremely nervous. Extremely nervous. So much of self doubt, so much of all that confusion, chaos. I mean, I remember that after, say, from 30th July till 5th of September. 5th of September was my interview date at BCG. So that
Mhm.
entire 1.1 month or something around that, I was just prepping, just giving interviews to a point that I felt that this is much more difficult than actually sitting for the final exams, because at least there we have a finite syllabus. We know कि इधर से ही आएगा. It's not going to come from anywhere else. But here, everything is infinite. You don't know what you're going to be asked. You don't know how bad they're going to grill you. And I had my fair share of rejections in the entire journey. So there were a lot of times I felt like, what now? Yeah, we reject, wahan we reject. But then they say, no, the one company that is there for you, you will get into it.
Yes, yes, yes. If it's meant for you, it will definitely come to you. Correct, correct, correct. Okay, so Shivangi, you were associated with us in our first Career Navigator program batch. I want to know, how did you got to know about the batch at the first place, about
Yeah.
CN?
So I remember I was just scrolling through LinkedIn one day, and then I saw that this is a program that is being launched. Of course, Ankush was there, and his credibility was well known at that point in time.
Correct.
And I didn't have a lot to do. I mean that was the phase. The results have not yet come out. You don't know where me.
Correct.
I mean, I was more or less sure that I'll actually pass. So, but I didn't know the way ahead, what is going to happen. And then I read through the entire program, and what I felt was that if not anything, at least I'll become aware of what all is going to happen, and what at least I'll have a mental preparation for it. Yeah, so I joined that course, and then of course there was some really great insights that helped me through the process. So yeah, that was it. It was a nice program.
Okay, thank you, thank you. But then, so basically in CNP we had different sessions. Like we had the first resume LinkedIn,
Right.
then a whole interview prep session, then a domain guidance session, then sessions wherein we, used to come up with some quantitative aptitude quiz, business case studies, etc. Out of all these, which one or two do you think were the most insightful ones? Or they shaped your journey somewhere to some extent, they contributed to shaping your journey in the interview
Yeah.
process.
Yeah. So I think more or less I had attended pretty much all the sessions. Yeah, I didn't give those mock interviews because I was I don't want to face rejection right now, at least. I don't want to. Yeah, but no. If I come to what actually helped me a lot, I really like the LinkedIn profile session wherein you guys told how you can actually optimize your LinkedIn profile to actually go for jobs. Though that didn't help me a lot because I didn't actually apply to a lot of companies. But then it did help me actually make up my LinkedIn profile better. And then the resume one was really nice. That actually had great insights, which I had applied while I was making my resume. And then when you actually get your resume checked by other people and they say that this is something that you have done right. So you feel good that, yeah, I attended that session. I knew that it was supposed to be there. So yeah, that helped me. And then, of course, I loved those speaker sessions wherein all of you used to come from different kinds of domain and tell a little bit about what a day looks like in your life. What do you expect from this role? What is the kind of preparation you should be doing if you want to apply for this job? So all that actually helps you understand that what are the different options that are available. And it helped me understand that okay, there is FDD, which I didn't know a lot about. I just read it in books, but now I realize okay, this is a lot similar to audit, so that is not something which I'm willing to apply for. So you start learning how to filter out what you want, what you don't want, so that none of the time gets wasted, neither the recruiters nor yours. So yeah, so it was
Correct,
really
correct.
helpful.
Ah, great, great, great. Okay, coming to your BCG interview, whole phase, all of that, all the rounds that you had, what all was asked in them, what was different in each round, your whole journey, your whole interview process in BCG. Let's talk about
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
So BCG process was an entire experience in itself. And it was very new to me because I had not applied for industrial at BCG because I didn't want to move out of Kolkata at that point in time. Yeah, so I remember firstly we had given in our CVs and all, and then we received a shortlisting on 14th of August. So yeah, so and that shortlisting in itself meant a huge, means it meant a very big deal because there are people who get single happen. So when you get a shortlist, you think, okay, fine, I'm a step closer. So yeah, and then you get the shortlist, you get a buddy assigned, and then they actually tell you that these are the different kinds of. So BCG interviews are more or less case study interviews. You are asked cases, and then there are different kinds of frameworks, profitability, market entry. Then there are guesstimates that these are asked. It's not a technical interview at all. You're not questioned on your behavioral skills. Also, it's just mere case studies on which they judge you. So for that, they actually allot us a buddy also. So, and we have our interview scheduled almost a month, like 20 days after the shortlisting, so that you have enough time for preparations. So yeah, so in those buddy calls also, I remember I mean, my first two buddy calls went pathetic. The person started asking me the case, and midway I was just blank, to a point that he had to tell me that this is not, aise nahi hoga Shivangi, you have to really buck up, you're going wrong in the start only. So all that was very, hard to digest also, because till now I didn't see my failures. So even somebody telling me on point ki nahi hoga ye ab tumse, so that also brings a lot of I don't know, different feeling ki, yeah, shit, where am I going wrong over here? Prayers. And he was like, I can see you have improved, you have worked a lot. So, but I remember that the only feedback that I used to get throughout the entire process, I used to do cases with my cohort also, because you need people to do cases. So everybody just used to tell me one thing, that you have to build up your confidence. You know things, but so afraid or so scared of speaking them that it's come. That morning, I was to an extent prepared ki it's okay if it happens, very good. If it doesn't happen, still fine. I still have offers in my hand. So I had backup in my hand, and I was like, whatever happens, theek hai, chalo. I'll not take utna pressure in my mind. And I think that actually worked out for me, because that actually made me a lot more confident that day. So yeah, so our interviews started at 8 in the morning, and I had my first interview at 8:30 a.m. And it's like they put you in breakout sessions. So it's like every a person is put into a breakout session, and then you're not even informed, suddenly the person comes up, switches on the video and starts talking. So you have to be present on that chair, because if you're somewhere else, it's gone, right? So my first case started at 8:30 a.m. So it's actually more or I remember my first interview was taken by a project leader. Yeah, so he gave me a case, a good profitability case. And then I realized, and then actually forgot, there are so many frameworks. Previously, I used to stick to the rigidity of the frameworks and all of that, but at that point in time, when that case actually started, I got a lot comfortable in the case, and I was actually trying to solve that case, which worked out for me. So yeah, so by the end of my first round, it was a 15 to 20 minute interview. Like the case took 15 to 20 minutes to solve. And by the end of the interview, the person himself said that it was a nice case. I liked how you solved it. So I got a feeling ki, I'm at least moving to the second round. So yeah, so then that interview got over, and I just I had my set up at one place and my bed at the other. So I just moved out to my bed. I was lying down. Then suddenly, within I'll say 30 minutes, the screen again got turned on and a person came, and I got so startled. And then I came back to sit again, and then he asked me a guesstimate. So that was a guesstimate. I had to solve it. I had to give him the actual numbers, what I think would be there. And even at the after the course of the interview, I could actually understand, figure out that the person liked it, because he was happy. And then they say you some lines by which you actually figure out, हाँ ठीक है, इसको भी पसंद आ गए हैं. So yeah, so he also said me something similar to this, that now I'll show you this in BCG. So you get, okay, he also liked me, ऐसे करके. And then that interview got over, and within 10 minutes, I had my third round of interview, which was by the MDP. That is the most high level person, the director, the interview. So that interview happened wherein I was given a case as well as a guesstimate to be solved. So
Mhm.
yeah, so and all of this got over by 10:45 or 10:45 a.m. or 11 a.m., somewhere around that time. And people were still going for their first round or second round of interviews. So somewhere I did know in my heart ki things have worked out, right? Now let's just cross fingers and hope for the best. So yeah, I was hoping ki if need means there could be a fourth round or not. So that was a lot of waiting till 3 or 4 p.m. And then we got a call from the HR that you guys, a bunch of us, say around 16 of us, I remember 40 had gotten the shortlist. And from
Okay.
that, so 16 of us were told on the 5th September that the results would be announced on Monday. And the rest were called and said that you guys have been rejected. So, but out of the 16, again, there would be certain kind of filtering, which we didn't know what would happen. And we would be on Monday. So yeah, so then Saturday was full with the mail, we have been selected. And then on Monday, we were told that you guys have been selected and all of that. Yeah.
Okay, okay. And that was a really great journey and insightful one. So, generally, in other companies, I've seen a pattern. They have interviews and then post joining or something, they allot your buddy or pal or someone who will help you gel up with the team, with the process of the organization, work, etc. But I think it's a little different in the process you mentioned. You get a buddy allotted at the first place and you
Yeah,
have a
we
call
get a
with your
buddy.
buddy. So what is the frequency
Yeah.
of having calls with buddy? Like you have it once, twice, or after every round or something like
Yeah,
that?
so you can say that within 20 days, that 20-day gap, I had 5 buddy calls, 4 to 5 buddy calls. So that's an average. So the first buddy call is more or less the person telling you and how the entire process is, what are the materials you could refer to, how you should start your preparation. And from the second buddy call onwards, that actually understand supposed to think is that going into the right direction or not. Different thing that happened, like that's means specific to BCG. So right after getting the shortlist, we actually get a hamper also of
Okay.
customized names. So we have a diary, customized sipper. So all of that is very, fancy, and it just makes you happy that okay, even a shortlisting is recognized somewhere. And then they had actually flown all of us to Bombay for one day a workshop that they had conducted. So it was a lunch sort of workshop wherein they actually told us about the entire process, and they told us the hierarchy at BCG, how it all goes, what should you expect once you get into here. And then they took certain mock interviews, like group discussion sort of things. So
Okay.
yeah, that was an experience in itself.
No, no, great. And about the rounds, like you had different case studies and guesstimates in every round, right? Can you give us an idea about what kind of case studies were asked?
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
So just to like, it's like if I talk about my first case study only, it was like there's an electricity company which is facing declining profits. So the company has hired you to firstly try to understand what is the problem and then provide recommendations. So here we actually follow, since now we understood that it's a profitability problem, that the profits are declining. So now we actually apply the profitability framework. We break it down into revenue, cost, then we drill down to the lower levels to actually come to the point where the company has gotten a problem, and then we provide recommendations around it. So
Okay,
yeah.
okay. And a few example of guesstimates, like what it
So yeah.
is
So
exactly.
guesstimates, I was asked that there's a air fleet company which is wanting to increase its fleet capacity, for which it wants to train the employees. Now for this, they are wanting to set up a training camp in Gurgaon. You have to guesstimate the number of classrooms that would be required to train all of them. So again, all these questions that they tell you, it's a little bit vague on the front. So you're supposed to be asking certain kind of preliminary questions upon which also they judge you, that whether you're thinking in depth or not, whether you're actually trying to understand the real problem. And then accordingly, we come up with the numbers. We actually walk them down through the entire approach, and then we come up with the numbers. So they help you also in between. I mean, all the interviews that I had, it was very much like a conversation based, and it was like they were trying to help you. They were trying to make you sail through the case only. So it was not a pressure interview at all.
Right. Great. So, and anything more on your BCG interview journey, which was little more specific or something different than what you felt was different than your journey in Misho interview or Accenture?
Yeah.
Yeah, all of this.
So, till now, whatever interviews I'd given them, it was all to judge me on the basis of my resume, and then certain technical questions, behavioral questions. This was something very different because these were different kinds of cases. It was nothing related to what I have been in the past. Rather, it was completely judging me on the 30 minutes that I'm going to speak right now, and actually going to test how my thinking goes way. So that was very different. And the entire process, if you see, I had to learn a lot of new things. So even if that day I had gotten rejected, for example, I would have still learned a lot of things. Like the interview in itself had taught me so much that by the end of it, I was excited to join because I wanted to learn more on that. So it was
Correct.
like a nice, the entire setup on the entire format of interviews, really interesting.
Right. Correct. Actually, you're right on that point. See, in my, my job searching process journey also, I realized one thing. There's a standard procedure in majority of the companies, be it Big Fours, be it some set of industries or something. They go through the technical round, they have the HR round, then they have behavioral questions, which in itself is a very big deal to go through. But when you appear for interviews in some different companies, like let's take as BCG, I have had an experience in Amazon. So I did realize this one thing. They have a very different pattern of taking interviews. And while you are preparing for the interviews also now, you have a different zeal and excitement in you to, just to make it happen, to answer, to listen to their
Right.
questions, know how things will flow. So yes, this in itself is a very, very great experience to have interviews at such places, and you cracked it, which is a very, very big thing. So firstly, congratulations.
Thank
Uh,
you.
so one thing now in September 2025 attempt, we have 11,446 chartered accountants, newly qualified chartered accountants out here. One or two pieces of advice which you would like to give to them regarding, the job process and everything about your learnings, based on your learnings.
Yeah. So firstly, I'd say that read the JD before you apply for any job. That is very, very important. You should at least be knowing what you're interviewing for. Secondly, prepare a little. Just don't sit unprepared, because I remember I had sat in unprepared in one of my interviews. And when it went so bad and I was so depressed after it, I realized that no, a little bit preparation is needed everywhere. So do
Correct.
prepare. Thirdly, rejections are going to come. There is no way anybody is going to escape a rejection, not even the top ranker. Everybody will have to face rejection. So we just keep your spirits high, because I remember I used to go in a lot of self doubt, lot of confusion as to nothing is going to work out for me. I'm just getting rejected. So yeah, just don't lose yourself in the process, because at the end of the day, there is going to be that one company where you sit for, they like you and they take you, and that's the company which is meant for you at that time. So you really have to stay very positive and motivated throughout the journey.
Very fair points actually. The GD part also. It's very important because many a times candidates, they just go into the interview unaware about everything, about what it is, how to start, everything. So I think it's really important to be prepared before an interview, to at least give your best. The
Right.
results are not in your hand
I mean,
actually.
it's the worst thing that if the person asks you what's the JD and you are blank, like it's
Correct.
a turn off at that very moment, that
Right.
you are not even interested in the job then.
Right. And that is something which demotivates you to the core. It feels like, what now? We're done now. But
Right.
right, there's always a plan which God has made
Right.
for you, and that will definitely come to you.
Right. And just to highlight one thing over here, there are also interviews which you can feel that went pathetic, but the person would have liked you and you might receive a call. So, I mean, it happened with one of my interviews. I'd given an interview in Alvarez and Marshall, and my first interview, it went pathetic. I mean, I felt like she's going to judge me so bad after this. But after 2 days, I got a call that it's scheduled with the MD. So you don't know, maybe the person liked something in you, which will actually
Correct.
help you out. So just don't be that disheartened after an interview just because
Correct.
you think it
Never
went
lose hope.
pathetic.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. Great, great, Shivangi. It was really nice to have a conversation with you. All the
All
very best, all the very best for your new journey in BCG. I hope you reach great, great heights. And thank you for spending out time with us, for
thank you
all
so
of
much for
us
having
to
me.
yes, yes. I think this would have really helped people out there who who want to know how the interview processes go, what kind of things are asked, how should you be prepared, and everything. So I think yes, it is really great to have
And
you
it's
here.
a really great initiative which you guys are doing. I mean, it helped me. I'm sure it's going to help so many more students coming forward.
Sure,
So
sure,
really
sure. We
kudos
are
on
up
that.
with our next CNP batch also, Career Navigator Program 4.0. Let's see how it goes.
Yeah, best wishes, best wishes.
Thank you, Shivangi. Thank you for having this
Thank you,
podcast with
Mahima.
us. Okay, bye.